Good evening, everyone. I hope we are having a wonderful and safe 4th of July. Good evening, Jeannie, Carrie. Welcome. Hope you had a pleasant and safe weekend. No fireworks show in Portland, huh? Good evening, Brooks. You know, with the fire hazard out there, I don't think they should be having fireworks in a lot of places right now. I will in chat. Are people allowed to set off fireworks in your area? Yeah, you're probably gonna hear them throughout the night, Brooks. You know, even if they're not legal in my area, people are gonna set them off anyways. You know, a lot of dumbasses out there, who shouldn't be allowed fireworks are gonna set them off. Miranda, good evening. Gianna Marie, Renee Davis, hello. Welcome, Renee Davis. Alley Cat, welcome. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and happy 4th of July to everyone. Pretty and Camo, good evening. Kate, hi, 411 Chet. Not sleeping there in the UK tonight? Oh, I'm sorry. Insomnia sucks. I've had bouts of insomnia pretty much most of my adult life. Is your HAVAC system fixed yet? No, it's not. They have to order a new compressor unit for it, and it is on back order. There's so many of them that need to be replaced. Apparently, from the service technician who came out and looked at it, it's a known issue. I mean, the thing is only 4 years old. It's still underneath warranty, but I guess they had a whole series of them that were recalled, and our model wasn't on the recall list, but they had a whole bunch of them that had the same fault issue. But no, not fixed yet. I didn't know. Welcome. I didn't know now. 05. Insomnia sucks. Yeah, it does. Tina Hansen. Good evening, Tina. Welcome to the live stream tonight. Tonight we're playing True Crime Trivia. These are all general knowledge questions. Next weekend, we'll be back on our schedule, and we'll start rotating. One weekend will be about a serial killer, then one weekend general trivia, true crime trivia. But this week, we're the last weekend of general trivia. Excuse me. All righty. I guess we should probably get going with the first question for tonight. Kate Lily X. This sounds fun, actually. Well, I hope you enjoy it, Kate. So you'll see it actually on the screen. The question will be on the screen itself. Inner Peace, welcome. So here we go. First question. As you see, the question is on the screen, and you can also see the options for the possible answer. Colleen, welcome, Colleen, and Kevin. In case you're listening, Kevin, hope you're having a great weekend. So the first question, how many Americans are currently on the sex offender registry? A, 1 million, B, 2 million, C, 800,000, or D, 300 million? How many Americans are on the sex offender registry? Kate has no idea. She's going to guess 800,000. Alpha Femme. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. You made it for the live for the first time ever. Well, I hope you have fun. There are 30 questions total. Every one of them is multiple choice. Inner Peace is going with E, infinity. Good evening, Karen. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And happy 4th of July, Karen. So, how many Americans are currently on the sex offender registry? The correct answer is C, as in cat. 800,000 Americans are on the sex offender registries. And these are just a few of the examples of how some people have ended up on the sex offender registry. Public urination will get you, if you're arrested for public urination, you may have to register as a sex offender. If you are a teenager and you send pornographic pictures to another teenager, or teen sexting, will get you on the actual sexual registry. Some of them are on there for life. Some have to do 5-10 years on the registry. But 800,000 Americans are currently on the sex offender registry across in some states. And it could be anything from a consensual relationship between a teenager, she's 16 or 14 and he's 17. Yeah, it can get you on the registry too. It all depends upon the state and location of the individual, and the rules vary vastly. But most common one that a lot of people don't think is an actual sex crime is public urination. In a lot of states, it's considered an indecent exposure charge, which will get you on the sex offender registry. All right. Moving on to question number 2. What bit of Walter Raleigh did his wife carry around after his death? So we're looking for a piece of what Walter Raleigh. What did she carry around after his death? A, his right hand. B, a lock of his hair. C, his left hand. Or D, his head. What did Walter Raleigh's wife carry around with her after his death? Voyeurism is 5 years in prison. It's a serious offense. Okay, I did not know that. I mean, it's a serious offense. Yeah, I can understand that, but I have a question. How big was her handbag? I don't know the answer to that. Pretty came up. I don't know. There we go. We have B, get some C's, the hair, D, B. Thumbs up for Will, please. Yeah. If you enjoyed this content, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Tina Hansen, welcome. Alma. Sup, Will? Not much, Alma. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And happy 4th of July to you and to Tina. Hope everybody had a wonderful day. Yeah, don't be quitters. What did Sir Walter Raleigh's wife carry around? What part of him did she carry around with her after his death. I can't imagine her walking his. Carrie can't imagine her walking around with his freaking head. Life sucks, and it doesn't. Then it doesn't, Will. It is what it is. This is true, Alma. This is very true. All right. The correct answer to this question, what did Sir Walter Wiley's wife carry around with her after his death? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is D. She carried around his head. She put it in a cinch, like a cinch bag. It was a bag by itself. It wasn't even in her purse. She carried around his decapitated head in a bag. And she did it for over a year. She carried around his head. Yeah, that happened. All right, question number 3. What TV show set in Wentworth Detention Center? What TV show was set in the Wentworth Detention Center? A prison cell block H. B, A Time to Kill. C, Stir Crazy. Or D, The Mickey Mouse Club. What TV show was set in the Wentworth Detention Center? Glowworm, welcome. And happy 4th of July, Glowworm. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. S. Singleton, welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend as well, and happy 4th of July. But anyone who hasn't seen A Time to Kill should. Brilliant film. I concur with that. All good and happy 4th of July. Good. Glad you had a great day, Glowworm. Well, thank you, Alma. Appreciate it. What TV show was set in Wentworth Detention Center? You don't think it was the Mickey Mouse Club, Carrie? It's probably a good guess, Carrie. Oh, I appreciate it, Alma. Interviews, Mr. Rogers. All right. What TV show was set in Wentworth Detention Center? The correct answer is A. Prisoner Cell Block H. Was set in Wentworth Detention Center. Century. Alrighty. Question number 4. The United States Supreme Court in 1962 said what group can't be imprisoned? A, police officers. B, janitors. C, drug addicts. Or D, rapists. In 1962, they made the actual statement that this group could not be imprisoned. Which one is it? Police, janitor, drug addicts, or rapists? might be surprised by the answer to this. Some of you might. The United States Supreme Court ruled in 1962 that this group could not be imprisoned. Is this a new background, Will? Like the plant in the window? Oh, so it's actually a tree. One of those. It's a fake tree. If I turned the light on in the other studio, you'd be able to see it a lot better. But no, it's not a new background. It's just a different view. Usually you see this far wall over here, not this one, but you see the far wall on that side. This wall is the only one that's this color. All the other ones are gray. All right. In 1962, the United States Supreme Court said that this group could not be imprisoned. Now, the correct answer to this, and this actual ruling by the United States Supreme Court, said that drug addicts, C, could not be imprisoned. Now, that it only stood as a law on the books for a total of 4 years. And then as the Supreme Court revisited the actual ruling and redefined what they meant by drug addicts. But the correct answer is C, drug addicts. In inner peace, Girl Scouts can go to prison. You crack me up. All right. Question number 5. The Italian Job, Noel Coward played what character in prison? In The Italian Job, Noel Coward played what character in prison? A, Birdman, B, the Cowardly Lion, C, Bridger, or D, Mr. Franks? What character did Noel Coward play in The Italian Job? I know it's unpopular, but hopefully we can share openly here. Addicts are ill. It's an illness, not saying they shouldn't be punished for their crimes, though. You're right, Kate. Yeah, but if you take a look at the American justice system, Kate, you know, we incarcerate more people here in America than any other country. And we do it, and most of those people are in there for drug offenses or something that has to do with their actual drug dependency. And it's an overwhelming issue. It always has been. But, you know, we don't offer them necessarily, you know, rehabilitation classes while they're in prison. We've stripped a lot of prisons of everything, from education to, you know, anything that they would teach them, a skill or a trade in the outside world to, you know, be able to change their lives for the better once they're released. And 78% of all prisoners eventually get out of prison. And then they just turn around and they have to end up dealing with the same issues they had when they went in. It's terrible. But, you know, people just don't think about it. Don't know. Ask me about The Godfather. You know a lot about The Godfather, Colleen? It's a great movie, by the way. I like the original. Do you think prison reform is a big issue in the U.S. needs looking at? Oh, definitely, Kate. It definitely needs to be looked at. we've done a lot of things when it comes to for the prison system that, we did it for popularity. Politicians did. They pushed laws and reforms just so they could get reelected. Tough on crime. 3 strikes, you're out. Instead of actually, taking a look at it and saying, look, why are these people going back to prison? When a certain section of your entire population is incarcerated over and over and over and over and over again, more than anybody else, a certain, social economic level is incarcerated. And we're talking generations of people in that socioeconomic level are, vastly, incarcerated a lot more than any other group. Because the more money you have, you can buy yourself out of the sentence. You just keep on fighting it, and hire better attorneys, and you can get out on the charges. I mean, look no farther than O.J. Simpson. He bought himself out of the prison, being convicted of murder. But average, Joe, working poor, he ain't going to have that money to be able to hire a dream team of lawyers to defend him. But we've done all these things like, longer sentences and throw the book at them, 3 strikes, you're out. And a lot of it has never done anything to actually lower the recidivism rate. What has actually stopped and slowed the recidivism rate is education, counseling, and empowerment. Where you actually give the person, you boost them up as an individual, and then you don't make it so damn hard for them to get a job once they get out. But instead, we've gone the opposite direction. I had to attend classes for my DUI, and I felt like drinking when I left. All those dudes are career alcoholics, and they love going to the classes to talk smack. Welcome, Chris. All right. In The Italian Job, Noel Coward played what character in prison? The correct answer is C. Bridger. Bridger? That's how I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Bridger? Whatever. Mr. Bridger is the correct answer to that one. C was the correct answer. Question number 6. What was Ted Bundy arrested in Utah for in 1975? What was good old Teddy arrested for in 1975 in Utah? A, murder, B, kidnapping and assault, C, rape, or D, check fraud? Bridge R. Moments in Trading, welcome. Hope you had a happy weekend and happy 4th of July. Moments in Trading. Personally, I feel the fellowships are the key to recovery. Spiritual, and then it went by. Spiritual moral compass that works. I don't know about A or NA or any of that, if it works or not. I know that it never worked for my nephew, who was addicted to meth and pretty much destroyed every person around him in his life. But he finally got clean, and he's been, I guess, in recovery now, close to 6 years. But his was a faith-based recovery program that he went to, and they didn't just work on that, but they also worked on the underlying issues of why he was using it in the first place, and that's what helped him actually go through recovery. He had been in and out of treatment several times, but never worked. Carrie is pretty sure it's B on this one. I did 7 years with AA. Okay. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I just say I don't know anything about it. I just know that it works. Didn't work for my nephew. Then again, I don't think there's a one size fit all for anything really. But Carrie Ludwig says she knows this one. Pretty sure on this one that it's B. B is kidnapping and assault for good old Teddy in 1975 in Utah. Oh, geez, I'm going with B. This is hard. Interpees. Impersonating a Mormon. All right. What was Teddy arrested for in 1975 in Utah? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B, as in boy. Kidnapping and assault is what Teddy was arrested for in 1975 in Utah. This is Lori's role model. Okay, question number 7, sticking with good old Ted Bundy. Where was Ted Bundy born? Now, looking for the actual city or wherever the location, we are looking for the actual physical location. A, back seat of a yellow cab. B, a train station. C, Elizabeth Lund Home for Unwed Mothers. Or D, a prison hospital in Washington State. Where was Ted Bundy born? It's insane to me that he escaped twice, right? Yeah. Just to go out and continue his crime spree. And regardless how people want to look at Ted Bundy now, think he was a handsome man or not, he was very charismatic, and everybody that that knew him said that he was always sharp dressed. He carried himself and was very soft spoken, and he was an attractive individual. Apparently, he was in the 1970s because he convinced a lot of women to help him, who, well, unfortunately, never lived another day in their lives after that. But and his kill count would have been a heck of a lot higher if it wasn't for the fact that he spent all of his time going back to each and every one of the victims over and over and over again, redoing their makeup and their hair and everything after he killed them. If he would have had that necrophilia, side of him, his count would have been way more than it was. That's the honest truth. Elizabeth Lund Home for Unwed Mothers. I think mom needed this safe space at the time. A lot of C's, some D's. Hi, Sarah. Just popping in to say happy 4th. Well, happy 4th of July to you too, Sarah. In a Cadillac station wagon, aka a Hertz. Yeah, he helped. He helped the FBI catch the Green River Killer. He told them, exactly what he was going to do. And a lot of it, if you think about Ted Bundy and his MO, he told the FBI, the next time you find another victim, a fresh victim of the Green River Killer, don't touch the body. Because everything he told them about that the body of the Green River Killer's victim, that it was everything that Ted was doing himself when he was out there. How he meticulously would watch the location to make sure that nobody went near it, and that he would go back to the victim over and over again to be with the victim, to relive the situation. And this is what he told the FBI, and they were like, all right, well, next time we find one, we'll just leave it alone. And that's exactly what they did, and that's how they caught him. All right, where was Ted Bundy born? The correct answer is C. Elizabeth Lund Home for Unwed Mothers. And Colleen, the cat lady, welcome. Elizabeth Lund Home for Unwed Mothers, where Ted was born. All right, question number 8. In the Middle Ages, you could be fined 4 pence for murdering whom? 4 pence, ladies and gentlemen, for murdering someone. A fine. Who did they fine you for murdering? The town butcher? A musician? The town or village jester? Or a YouTube creator? 4 pence for murder. Alpha Fem's going with C. Brooks is going with C. Carrie, a YouTube creator. In the Middle Ages, if you killed a YouTube creator, we're going to fine you for 4 pence. I am still here, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't gone anywhere. You just do not see me. But I'm still here. I can still read your comments. When you were in the 8th grade when he was executed? Good old Ted. I remember watching the evening news about people turning off their electricity to make sure that they had enough juice to fry them. It's not how it works, but it was still that for some reason always stuck in my head. That people actually had their power terminated at their homes, so there'd be enough electricity to make sure they could fry Ted Bundy well. Okay, seriously, I will say town or village jester. If that is D, I know a few that need to be sent back in time. Yeah, they didn't put you in prison for killing someone. They just fined you 4 pence. Broken Justice, welcome. I hear peace going with Fred Flintstone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Broken Justice, and happy 4th of July. These are tricky. You might know some more. Got quite a few left. We're only on question number 8, Kate. Before it's all done, you may actually have quite a bit of them. Quite a few of them right. Never know. The Village Dragon. I just watched an episode today of Viking. It's actually a pretty good show. I sat down and watched it because I was waiting for everybody to show up here. We did a barbecue, and there are quite a few people still in the house. We did barbecue. We did hamburgers and hot dogs and watermelon and cucumber salad. Got my father-in-law to finally come over here. Man doesn't go anywhere. He only lives 4 blocks away, but he never comes over here to see us. He just sits at home and watches TV. Well, he came over today, and he wanted to watch the next episode of Viking, from his streaming service. So we turned on Netflix for him, or to the HBO Go. It's one of the two. But we got to watch that. Sat there and I watched something on television. It's the first time I've watched anything on television in probably, 5 months. All right. In the Middle Ages, you could be fined 4 pence for murdering whom? The correct answer is B, as in boy, a musician. You could be fined up to 4 pence for murdering a musician. Now, depending upon where you actually look for this as a reference, it either says a traveling musician or a musician. I don't know. I could not find a definite answer if it had to be a traveling musician or just a regular musician. But the law, that's what it was in the Middle Ages. You could be charged up to 4 pence. Kate, you were 100% wrong. Well, let's see if you get the next one. All right, question number 9. Nelson Mandela spent 19 of 27 years in what prison? Nelson Mandela spent 19 of his 27 years in prison where? A, the South African State Prison. B, Robben Island. C, Madume Island. Or D, at Disney World Detention Center. Where did Nelson Mandela spend 19 of his 27 years in prison? Meet Meet, welcome. Welcome, Meet Meet. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and a happy 4th of July. Meet Meet. Fritz, welcome. Welcome to the True Crime Trivia, Fritz. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Happy 4th of July, Fritz. Uh-oh. Oh, a spider just ran across your bed. I'm sorry, pretty camo. Reevy Green, welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and a happy 4th of July. Changing. Good Lord, pretty. I have vacated the property. Tell you a true story about my wife and a spider, a black widow spider. When my wife, but this was several years before I actually met her, but my wife, her mom's house is, they call it a ranch home. It's all one level, and there's a basement underneath the house itself. And in the basement, there are 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom downstairs in the basement. Upstairs, there's 3 bedrooms as well. So it's a 6-bedroom home, and an additional 2 bathrooms upstairs on the main floor. My wife was in her room, her bedroom, which was in the basement, very well kept, clean, space. And she saw a spider in the window of her actual bedroom. She locked the door to her bedroom and never went back into the room. She gave the bedroom to the spider, and she never went back in for anything. She really did. She moved down the hall to another bedroom and just started living there because, well, the spider was there. And then when I went to go move her out, we bought her first place after we got married. I went in to go help her move all her stuff out. And she wanted to make sure that the spider wasn't there anymore. Reby, your hippie loves friend? That's cool. Love hippie love. Hope she's doing fine. Mo Beans, New Jersey. Welcome, Mo Beans. How do you cope in the U.S.? Would have happily given the room up too. Yeah, she really did. She moved out and left everything there. And then years later, we went back in. She wanted to check that window to make sure that spider wasn't there anymore. Of course, Spider-Man probably long died, off. But you have huge black widows where you are, Glowworm. All right. Question number 9. Nelson Mandela spent 19 of 27 years in what prison? The correct answer is B, as in boy. Robben Island Prison. Palikko, good early Monday morning from Finland. Welcome to the True Crime Trivia tonight. Hi, 411. Mo Beans, my name is Will. It was nice to meet you, and I hope you enjoy the True Crime Trivia tonight. All right, question number 10. Little Rock, Arkansas. Men and women can get 30 days in jail for what? A, kissing, B, farting, C, spitting, or D, flirting. In Little Rock, Arkansas, you can get a 30-day sentence, men and women, so at least they're equally enforcing it, for doing what? Kissing, farting, spitting, or flirting. I thought I got bit by a spider when I was sleeping and kept checking my back, no bruise or anything. Well, hopefully it wasn't a radioactive spider and it turned you into a Spider Woman. Easily distracted. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And happy 4th of July, easily distracted. K is changing to C. That is assault, I believe. Yeah, well, I think it all depends on how you look at them all. I mean, Spitting's disgusting. Farting's disgusting. Is kissing disgusting? Or flirting disgusting? Enter P's. E. Dating Lori Vallow. Sarah is going with B, C, A? No, no A. Just B, C, and D. Question. You don't even fart in private if you can help it. Black Widow. I don't know, Glowworm. Only if it's a cheesy pickup line. I'm more of a burger than a fart. You pretend you smell of roses. Some guys have cheesy pickup lines. It's got to be that. In Little Rock, Arkansas, men and women can get 30 days in jail for what? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is D, as in dog, for flirting. The last time this law was enforced was 1977. Was the last time the law was actually enforced, but it's still on the books. You can get 30 days in jail for flirting, either a man or a woman. Burper versus farter. How is that proven, Kate? I have no idea. I guess an eyewitness testimony would have to be it. You know, a police officer saw someone flirting with someone. I don't know. I don't know how they actually enforced, but that was the last time it was enforced. It was in the 70s. But it's still on the books. It's still a law that is out there that can, if they want to, enforce it. All right, question number 11. We're moving on to Charles Manson. Charles Manson was sold by his mother for a pitcher of beer when he was a child. Who got Charles back days later? A, his father, B, his uncle, C, his grandmother, or D, his Auntie May. Charles Manson was sold by his mother for a pitcher of beer. Maybe they have trained fart-sniffing dogs. I don't know. I don't know how they would do that, Pretty Camo. Charles Manson was sold by his mother for a pitcher of beer. Well, if that doesn't scream love, what does? She sold him for a pitcher of beer. It better have been goddamn great beer to sell a child. I'm ashamed of my true crime knowledge. Have no clue. D. Welcome, Cindy. I hope you had a great weekend and happy 4th of July with Cindy. Oh, Kate, don't worry about it. Some of these questions are pretty obscure. I sold my son for a cigarette. Easily distracted. It's going to go with F. Yeah, but his mother sold him for a pitcher of beer. Who got Charles back days later? Answer, no one. That's why he turned out into a psycho. Or became, a psycho, because, well, obviously he was a child and his mother sold him for a pitcher of beer. I mean, I don't think she went out of her way to do too much more for him at that point, did she? I mean, she's already sold him off. Andy Griffin. I don't know. Pretty Camel. I didn't look into how old he was when this actually happened. But Charles Manson was sold by his mother for a pitcher of beer when he was a child. Who got him back days later? The correct answer is B, as in boy, his uncle. His uncle retrieved him days later. She sold him to a cocktail waitress who was childless. She didn't have any children, and she always wanted children. So, well, she wanted another pitcher of beer, and she had no money. So they made an agreement. I'll give you a free pitcher of beer, and you give me your child. It really happened. They came to an agreement for a pitcher of beer. She sold him to a cocktail waitress who didn't have any children. But his uncle went and retrieved him days later. All right, question number 12. In Zambia, it is illegal to take pictures of who? A, pygmies, B, a priest, C, rats, or D, any government official. In Zambia, it is illegal to take pictures of who? You probably would have been better off. Yeah, probably. Well, Worm, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, because at least she wanted a child. His mother obviously didn't want him. In Zambia, it is illegal to take pictures of who? I had a horse. You had a horse named Zambia? That's cool. Jeannie, my sister has a quarter horse, and I have no idea what her horse's name is. I should probably find out one of these days. Who would want to go to Zambia? I don't know, Carrie, but apparently Zambia is one of those countries where people do travel for tourism. Where is Zambia? Glowworm, I'm terrible at geography, so I would have to say probably somewhere, if I have to guess, South Africa. I mean, somewhere around there. Central Africa might be. Jeannie is probably correct. That's probably closer. What's the other 3/4? LOL. In Africa. E, Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical. I want to hear your body chug. You said it was a quarter horse. What are the other 3 quarters? I don't know. It's just what type of horse it is. Pretty camo. I just know what kind of horse it is, because she's always taking pictures of it and talking about her horse, and getting her trailer set up, and wanting me to do work on the horse trailer or something, or wire up electricity for it or something. She's always talking about something like that has to do with her. But I don't have the faintest clue what kind of horse, like, what's the difference between a quarter horse or a stallion or anything. I don't know anything about horses. Whoa, Lisa. Hello, 411. Hello, mods, chat. Hello. Leathers and Liquors from the UK. Well, welcome to True Crime Trivia, Lisa. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Will, did you ever get your AC fixed? No, Karen. Now they have to order a the compressor part of it, of the AC unit, and it's on back order. So what we did do is we went out and we bought 6 window units. So we're doing good in here. According to my computer right now outside, it's 107 degrees outside right now, but in here it is a nice cool 73 degrees. That's because that's where I set the temperature at, 73. But I still have a box fan over here. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. It just feels good to have the nice cool air being circulated in here. You been okay, Lisa? Good. What's the weather today? Glowworm. It's 107 degrees. No wind at all right now. But I'm sure, I think it said something about there's supposed to be a breeze later on tonight, just in time for the idiots to start setting off fireworks and, causing, house fires and brush fires and everything else. But in Zambia, it is illegal to take pictures of what? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is A, pygmies. It is illegal in Zambia to take pictures of the pygmy and the pygmy tribes. You're not allowed to take pictures of them. And that is a strictly enforced rule. You have to have a permit that the government actually issues to you in order to take pictures of them. And it's compensation. It's usually a huge deal. You have to pay somebody who is a member of the tribe, and you have to give them gifts. You have to get the permit. And normally the only ones who are ever allowed to actually photograph or take pictures of the Pygmy tribes is the actual, like, National Geographic or something along those lines. But otherwise, you can't do it. What is that in Celsius, Fritz? I don't know. I can look it up, though. What is 107 in Celsius? That for Celsius, Fritz, that is 41.6667 Celsius. 41.6667 Celsius. Where in the UK, Lisa? You're in Kent. All right. Question number 13. By law in Washington, it is illegal to do what? By law, it is illegal to do what? Marry an ugly man. B, ride an ugly horse. C, fall in love on first date. That should be a 1, not an I. First date. Or D, not be a subscriber to 411 Now. By law in Washington State. What is it illegal to do? Marry an ugly man, ride an ugly horse, fall in love on a first date, or not be a subscriber to my channel. D. All the above, Sarah says. He's a distracted D. It's hot. That's not the hottest temperature. Earlier this week we hit 121 degrees Fahrenheit. So that would be, let's see, 121. That'd be 49.444 Celsius. We hit 121 degrees here this past week. It was hotter here than it was in all of Texas, and hotter than it was in Death Valley. Gone Girl. Hey, Will. How's the family? Mary? They're fine. We had a very relaxing weekend. Today, 4th of July, here in the United States. So, they're relaxing with friends and family inside the house right now. We'll wait until a little bit later until it gets dark, and we have no intentions of setting off any fireworks. It's not safe to do it, especially right now with how dry everything is out there. But they're going to watch it from from safe distance. We have the city puts on a fireworks display, so I think they're going to watch that. Canada is also very, very hot. Yeah. Interpeas dance in the rain. I wish we need rain bad here. We're in a drought situation where I live. By law in Washington State, it is illegal to do what? Marry an ugly man, ride an ugly horse, C, fall in love on a first date, or D, not be a subscriber of 411. If it was A, there would be no men left. I'm rooting in Denmark for the UEFA. I don't know what that is, Lower. We have too much rain here. Summer, a washout. Oh, I'm sorry, Kay. I live in what's called a semi-desert or high plateau desert. So we're in between two giant mountain ranges, the Cascades on one side and the Rocky Mountains on the other. So the weather pattern comes up over the top of the Rockies or the Cascades, whichever direction it's moving from that day. And it never gets a chance to go down in the valley between the two mountain ranges. So it goes up over the one side of the mountains, and then it goes down over the other. So getting rain or anything here is, it doesn't rain enough here. When it does, it just comes and it just downpour like there's no tomorrow. I hate the heat in the Pacific Northwest, Will. Prefer a little cooler. Yeah. Same here, Carrie. I don't know. I'm still not sure why I even live here. If it wasn't for my family, I'd be gone. I'd be back home in Wisconsin or someplace. All right. In Washington State, is illegal to do what by law? The correct answer is B, ride an ugly horse. B, as in boy, ride an ugly horse. I was responding to Fritz Holmes from Denmark, European soccer matches. Oh, like real soccer? That's cool. I used to play soccer when I was younger. Played on a semi-pro traveling team for a while, but then it got too much to move. They have to go around from practice and games and everything else. All right, question number 14. Who was it that said more people would be alive if we had a death penalty? Who said more people would be alive if we had a death penalty? A, Jimmy Dean, B, Ted Bundy, C, Nancy Reagan, or D, Mickey Mouse? You love walking in the rain. That can be very relaxing. I love the smell right after like a summer or fall rain. The smell in the air. Mary, your grandson plays soccer. Oh, that's cool. I played position wise. I either played what they called striker, or I was a goalie. Good night, Will, and my super chat friends. Good night, Colleen. Good night, Kevin. You both have a wonderful week ahead. It's raining a lot in London, but I believe other parts of the UK are very stormy. I love thunderstorms. That's cool. It has to be C at some point. It's raining here in Kent. I like the rain and storms, but hate the muggy heat. Smells like worms after rain. Interpedes. Bugs Bunny said it. Welcome, Jesse Porter. Did not see Jeffy join in. I'm sorry. I hope you had a wonderful week, Jesse. Yep, there's Jesse Porter. Welcome to the True Crime Trivia Night. We are currently on question 14, as you can see on your screen. 14 out of 30. All right. Who said more people would be alive if we had a death penalty? The correct answer is C. Nancy Reagan. Nancy Reagan said that during the moratorium on the death penalty in the United States. Question number 15. Thomas Jefferson Home in Virginia has a hidden what? Illegal at the time. Mr. Frosty, happy 4th of July to you. Thomas Jefferson Home in Virginia has a hidden what? Illegal at the time. A wine cellar. B, a slave's quarters. C, a billiard table. Or D, a bathroom toilet. What does Thomas Jefferson Home in Virginia, and it's still there to this day, have that was illegal at the time? And you can take tours of his Virginia home, and part of the actual tour, they point out that this item was illegal at the time when Thomas Jefferson lived there, and it was installed at the in the home. B or A? I lived in Burlington for a while on the seafront. We had some beautiful night storms over by the sea. I follow a couple of channels from the UK. The Travel Trolls. I follow that channel. They're out of the UK. They're everywhere, but it's about a boyfriend and his fiance that travel around in an RV or motor coach or whatever you call it. But Travel Trolls, and then Barry. What is Barry's last name? I can't remember what Barry's last name is. Mr. Frosty wants a billiard table. I just saw a death angel in the lower hanging clouds. I'm scared. I'm sorry, Mr. Frosty. So that's your guess now? Did I give it away? I mean, a toilet is an object, too. Thomas Jefferson home in Virginia has a hidden what? Illegal at the time. A TV. No, it's not a TV earpiece. The correct answer is C, a billiard table. The entire room was built around a billiard table, and it's got a hidden wall that looks like there's no door there to actually lead into it, and there's a billiard table that was built in the actual room so he could play billiards. He'd like to play, pool, shoot some pool. Caravan, yeah, caravan. That's what they call travel trailers. Travel Trolls TV, but Travel Trolls. You can see that. Look them up on, and I think it's Barry's last name. That's the other channel, but Owens. He's written a couple of cookbooks, and he does like cooking tutorials and unboxings and stuff like that. But Thomas Jefferson had a billiard table, which was illegal. All right, question number 16. What is the crime of embracery? A, jury bribery. B, hugging for too long. C, not hugging someone. Or D, not having proper braces in a handicapped bathroom. What is embracery? Oh, thank you, Gianna Marie. Madam Mystic Skywatcher. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Madam Mystic Skywatcher. Yeah, I saw that they were planning on tearing it down, Airpiece. I think you're cheating. You got a job, Mr. Frosty? Congratulations. What is the crime of embracery? A lot of A's and some B's. The correct answer for what crime is embracery, the correct answer is A, jury bribery. Jury bribery. All right. Too many bracelets. I'm hearing bubble aquarium. I don't have an aquarium. I have actually. I have 5 terrariums, but I don't have anything that you're probably hearing the box fan. This fan was my mother-in-law purchased it when my wife was just a child. She purchased it at Montgomery Ward's, and this thing runs like there's no tomorrow. I mean, the selector switch on the top had been broken off for a long time, but so you can, it's only going fast, you know, like the highest setting on high. But I mean, I think it works like a charm. Newer fans say they all break and fall apart. This one's going to outlive us all. Didn't they have billiards back then? Only took me 11 interviews, but to get good at them again. Well, it like everything else, Mr. Frosty, practice makes perfect, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't feel that way when you're having to do it. They didn't have billiards back then. They had billiards back then. Billiards is a game that's been around for hundreds of years, if not longer. That before they had the full game of billiards, they had snooker, which is another kind of a pool game. I think snooker predates pool by quite a few years. I remember Montgomery Ward's. Those old products are the best, right? This is I'm not joking. The label on it is it's a Toastmaster by Montgomery Ward's. That's what the label on the front of it says. All right, question number 17. American gangster George Nelson had what nickname? What was American gangster George Nelson's nickname? Scarface, the Undertaker, the Music Man, or Babyface? What was George Nelson's nickname? Kate Liliex, Mr. Frosty. My job was career advice. I still was rubbish at interviews. I will be right back. I'm out of water. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Ugh. I am back. I am back. All right, so I went and asked my nephew what my sister's horse name is, and it is Coda, is the name that she actually picked for her horse. Coda. And I was wrong. It's not a quarter horse, it's a paint. Whatever that is. See, I'm even more confused now. Anyone know any good songs? Well, depending on what kind of music you want to listen to. Glowworm. Night, everyone. It's 4:20 here. See you tomorrow. Have a good night, Reevy. Thank you for stopping in. All right. American gangster George Nelson had what nickname? His nickname was D. Babyface Nelson. How many questions? Meet me 30. Always 30 questions. Meet me. Here's a song for you. A Horse with No Name. That's Neil Young, right? Yeah. And think there for a second. Neil Young, A Horse with No Name. All right, question number 18. What nationality was Mata Hari? What nationality was Mata Hari? A, American, B, Canadian, C, Dutch, or D, Polish? What nationality was Mata Hari? Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I've actually seen that on a t-shirt. Father Guido Sarducci. Meet, meet, beep, meep. Mr. Frosty's going with E. E. Anita, welcome, sweetheart. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to our neighbors. But my wife referred. Today is the 4th of July from. She told everybody happy 4th of July from his treasonous colonies. What nationality was the Mata Hari? We got D, B, E, D, C. D's, some more C's. Whoa, Lisa's going with C. Colleen, the cat lady, is going with D. All right, what nationality was the Mata Hari? The correct answer for number 18 is Dutch. The Mata Hari was Dutch. Anita Butts, just in time. C. The Mata Hari was Dutch. Lisa Irwin, good evening, sweetheart. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And happy 4th of July. All right, question number 19. Norway. What is the punishment for drunk driving? What is the punishment in Norway for drunk driving? A, 1 year in prison. B, 3 months of government lectures. C, a $10,000 fine. Or D, public shaming in the town square. In Norway, what is the punishment for drunk driving? And what did she do that was bad? I don't know, Mr. Frosty. Are you the Mata Hari? Well, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Norway, what is the punishment for drunk driving? I don't know to answer your question right now off the top of my head, Mr. Frosty. I'm not sure what the Mata Hari did that was illegal. I think it might have been tax evasion or something, but I'm not entirely sure. A spy? Or maybe oh yeah. No. You might be right on that. Well, Lisa. A spy. I'm thinking of Bhagwan Rajneesh. I was reading about Bhagwan Rajneesh earlier today. Somebody else too that was involved in the transcending like religions. World War I, World War II. But I do believe it was a spy, though. But in Norway, what's the punishment for drunk driving? Cat Interpeas says castration. Fritz says C. Bad question. It's been 12 years today. Tracy Harrison, thank you for your service. Remember, all those who sacrifice for our freedoms. Well, thank you, Tracy, and welcome to True Crime Trivia. Hope you can stick around and try your luck at some trivia questions tonight. There are 30 questions in total. We are in question number 19 right now. Lisa is going with lectures. In Norway, the punishment for drunk driving is what? What is the punishment for drunk driving? I lost my husband due to a drunk driver. No punishment is good enough, if you ask me. I'm sorry, Sarah. I really am. Those Norwegians made all kinds of trouble in the thing. Well, the answer to this one, in Norway, what is the punishment for drunk driving? The answer is B, as in boy, 3 months of government lectures. America? I said it was Neil Young, didn't I? Maybe he did sing it. I bet he probably wasn't the original. I barely remember the band America. That's the honest truth. I can picture the album cover right now. All right, question number 20. What device is illegal to use on Sundays in Switzerland? In all of Switzerland, it is illegal to use this device on a Sunday. A, an electric razor. B, a lawnmower. C, a car with a loud exhaust. Or D, any type of handgun or rifle. What is illegal to use on Sundays in Switzerland? Neil Young was the first man to go to the moon. Well, thank you, Kate. It's what it's like every weekend here. We do true crime trivia on Sunday nights, and then on Saturday mornings I have a general discussion. It never has a topic, but it's basically the same thing on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And the true crime trivia that we're playing now always starts at 7 p.m. on Sunday nights, Pacific Daylight Time. Yeah, easily distracted. Oh, the cops just came through a neighborhood scene. 10 people suddenly shoot off in different directions. Oh, well. Chad, I have a sleepy guy. It's 4:30 a.m. Where I am. and I have to be up and out in a few hours. Hopefully, I will catch you again. I hope so, Lisa. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up on your way out, and you have a terrific week ahead. And thank you for stopping in tonight. On the Chauvin trial, well, thank you. Mike Stevens. Hi, Mike. How's it going? I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Mike. And happy 4th of July, Mike. Time to forgive. He gets out and he wants to meet face to face. As long as you do that, Sarah, and you do it on your terms, and if you want to, then by all means do it. But do it on your terms, and your terms only. Shelly Williams, welcome. Welcome, Shelly. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Shelly. Kanda Kra. Do you will? Thank you, Mike. Lawnmowers are so damn annoying when you are trying to sleep. What device is illegal to use on Sundays in Switzerland? The correct answer is B, lawnmowers. It is illegal to use a lawnmower on Sundays in Switzerland. Let the grass grow. Hey. Hi, Molly. Will, for my first time. Happy 4th of July. Thank you for your service. Well, thank you, Molly. Thank you, love. I appreciate it. Hey, we had a shelter in place near me because 11 armed people fled to the tree line. They were part of some movement. True story. Wow. Okay, question number 21. Michigan. Married couples can be in prison unless they what? A, have sex twice a week. B, own a vehicle. C, live together. Or D, play the lottery. In the state of Michigan, married couples can be in prison unless they what? What must married couples in the state of Michigan do? Play the lottery, live together, own a vehicle, or have intercourse. What must married couples in Michigan do? Mike going with E, argue. They must argue. A lot of C. C seems to be a popular answer. Carrie's going with C. Fritz is going with C. Michigan, married couples can be in prison unless they. The correct answer to this one, everyone who guessed C, you are correct. Married couples in Michigan must live together. They must live together. Play the accordion. All right. Question number 22. What U.S. state has the highest homicide rate? What state has the highest homicide rate? A, California, B, Texas, C, Florida, or D, Massachusetts? What state has the highest homicide rate? Stand your ground, law state. E is into psychosis. I'm sorry, and I apologize. E, all of them. Move to Canada. I don't know about Nova Scotia, though. Seems like it'd be too cold in Nova Scotia for me. But maybe I'm wrong. What state has the highest homicide rate? California, Texas, Florida, or Massachusetts? Australia. My wife is always joking about moving to Australia. Diana W., welcome to the stream, Diana. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and happy 4th of July. She's going with Texas. Hey, we are comfortable. 11 Celsius tonight. We had a great Canadian Day. Cool. Which state has the highest homicide rate? And Molly, that's a good thing there. They shoot the hell out of each other in Chicago, don't they? But that's not one of the options. The answer for the highest homicide rate in any state, by far, is California. The correct answer is A. There were more homicides in the state of California than there were in Texas last year. And in Texas, though, but they use the death penalty in Texas more than any other state. But the correct answer is A, California. All right. There we go. Number 23. West Virginia. What is illegal to cook, and you can go to prison for cooking it because of its smell? A, cabbage, B, fish, C, snails, or D, garlic. In the state of West Virginia, what is illegal to cook, and you can go to prison for cooking it? In case you're wondering, meth. Yeah, you probably go to prison for cooking meth, Mr. Frosty. In case you're wondering, this one was put into law in 1877. So I guess it's considered an old blue law. 1877. My wife and my daughter love cabbage. They eat it uncooked. They just take it and they'll slice up some and to make it into like little squares, and they just eat it. She puts cabbage on everything in the place where you normally have used like lettuce, like on burgers or in a sandwich or something like that. She'll use cabbage instead of red cabbage. She'll use that, cabbage in place of lettuce. Corned beef and cabbage. Sounds good. I have it raw in smoothies. Cabbage. I've never had cabbage in a smoothie. So that's it. Sounds interesting. Garlic meth. Yeah, garlic meth. Yep, garlic meth probably get you, a prison sentence. West Virginia, what is illegal to cook and you can go to prison for cooking it because of its smell? The correct answer is A, cabbage. Red cabbage cooked with apples, yum. Kale is cheap and so good for you. I used to work at when I was in college. I worked at a 7-Day Adventist restaurant that used to be, I think Carrie's here. It used to be up on campus on the WSU Pullman campus. It was right next to the Cougar, and downstairs. I think it was Seventh-Day Adventist Church was upstairs, but downstairs they had a restaurant and like little cafe, and we made all kinds of weird, bizarre juices that people would want. The most popular by far was carrot juice, but if you wanted it juiced, we would juice it for you. All right, question number 24. How old was John Wayne Gacy when he died by lethal injection? How old was John Wayne Gacy? 50, 52, 54, or 56? How old was Gacy when he was executed? Now you're craving corned beef and cabbage? You remember that? Wow, that just brought back memories. Yeah. That was one of the, Carrie, that was one of the first places that I got a job when I was there, in school. I went to work there. And then eventually, the last job I had, I was working for Pizza Pipeline, delivering pizzas. I'm gutted. I don't know this. B? I'm kind of craving corned beef and cabbage now, too. You worked in the Orton dining hall? One of the jobs I had, another job I worked at was I worked at a fine dining restaurant downtown. It was called Jezebel's. Worst damn idea that ever happened, to put a fine dining restaurant in a college town. Made some this year. It was okay. Martha Greenfeather. Welcome to True Crime Trivia, Martha. They investigated his brain after death. I do know that. How old was John Wayne Gacy when he was executed? He also worked at Taco Time on Main Street. Carrie, do you remember where the Micro movie theater was? I don't know if it's still there or not. It's been years since I've actually gone to see if it's still there. The Micro movie theater. I don't remember. It was right down there by Taco Time. I think it was about 2 blocks from there. But Jezebel's was just, if you went, it was a one-way street that went up over the hill, and then you came down, and the Micro movie theater was on at the old post office. So where the old post office is, there was a Micro movie theater there. But that was on the right-hand side. But Jezebel's was up at the top of the hill. It was one-way street that went in one direction there. But I think it's now a Mexican restaurant that's there now. But I have to get your recipe for Mr. Frosty. Sonia, welcome. And you're going to go with C. How old was John Wayne Gacy when he died by lethal injection? The correct answer, everyone, is B, as in boy. He was 52 years of age when he was executed. John Wayne Gacy. All right, question number 25. Where did John Wayne Gacy commit every one of his murders? Where did John Wayne Gacy commit every one of his murders? At work, at a store, at home, or at a nightclub? John Wayne Gacy, where did he commit every one of his murders? It's all right, Carrie. The Micro movie theater was in business. If there's, they might still be there for all I know. I have a picture in my head of where all the restaurants were. There wasn't. I mean, the town has grown so much since I went to school there. But Taco Time, then there was like Subway, and just before you go to the park, because where the park was in when you were in school, graduated in '87, where the park is down there is that's where all the Greek row. That's where they had all their off-campus housing. The deltas and stuff like that. They had all the homes that were down around the park, so they could drink there and carry on and do all the shit that they couldn't do up on Greek Row. But anyways, no, it doesn't. I don't remember a lot of certain parts of town. I just remember how to get from my apartment to where I worked. I'm sure there was more of the town, but I didn't care about it. All right. Where did John Wayne Gacy commit all of his murders? At work, at the store, at a home, or at a nightclub? Crazy Days WSU, Will, surprised that I'm still alive. Same here, Carrie. I used to joke around with people. I majored in alcoholism and minored in getting an education. I really didn't drink that much, but it just seemed like, when I think back to all the memories. At home, says Katrina Middleton. The correct answer to where did John Wayne Gacy commit every one of his murders? He committed every one of them at home, in his home. Every single one of his victims died in his home. He disposed of bodies not only underneath his home, but he also ran out of space. So he started disposing of bodies in the nearby river. But what's a micro movie theater? Meet. Micro movie theater it's a tiny little, like a movie theater, like you go to a movie to see a movie, but it's only one screen and it only had, I think, 20 total seats, and that was it. And they mainly showed older movies that that had since they have to pay to rent the movies that they're actually using, that they're showing. But they would go out a series, so they weren't as expensive. So some of the movies would be 1970s movies or 1960s movies that they would show, but it only had like 20 seats. Moscow, yeah. I spent a lot of time in Moscow myself. But that's what a micro movie theater is. It's just a tiny, tiny little theater. They only have 20 seats. You had to get there early, if you wanted to, see one of the movies. They used to bring drinks and stuff right to your, your seat. They did all kinds of things like that were catering to the actual, the small amount of people who would be there every night. No, I had to change from Florida to California. Things are crazy out there. But Gacy committed all his murders in his home. All right, question number 26. American gangster Al Capone had how many children? How many children did Al Capone have? 11, 12, 10, or 9? How many children did American gangster Al Capone have? In a van down by the river. Your brother is named John Wayne. That's his first name, hyphenated first name. Diana's going with 9. Mobeen is going with C. The BAD 12. How's he doing? How is Al Capone? He's very dead. So I'm guessing not so well. American gangster Al Capone. How many children did he have? No John Wayne? Her brother? I don't know. John Wayne, the actor, dead. John Wayne Gacy, dead. Doesn't matter if it's A or D. How did he have time to commit crimes? Well, he had time to commit crimes because he was a crime boss. He had other people doing dirty work for him. Was he killed by radiation? I don't know. The answer to that, Mr. Frosty, I don't know what killed John Wayne, the actor. Elizabeth Weber. I read a biography on him. Oh, man. for the little people. Elizabeth Weber, 1. And John Wayne Bobbitt, very much alive, I do believe. Hazel Turner, how you doing, Hazel? Welcome to True Crime Trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Hazel. And Elizabeth Weber, I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and happy 4th of July to you both. Right now, it is kind of dusk right now, so we're probably going to be hearing a lot more fireworks going off here soon. Because, well, I have a lot of neighbors that are not exactly the brightest individuals. I meant he had 1 child, mistype. He had more than 1 child, Elizabeth. Lowest number option is 9. That's the lowest. 10, 12, or 11. Just moved house from Spain. Oh, I hope you're getting situated, Hazel. Sounds like anti-aircraft here. 2 nights. 2 nights. Yeah, it's going to get a lot worse tonight. Where I live, after the 4th of July, you have, I think, 10 days or somewhere in there to still legally be allowed to set off fireworks. So I'm just glad that I only have 1 dog left, and he's completely deaf. So, I mean, he was born deaf, but so don't it's not like something that recently happened to him. But he can't hear the fireworks, so it doesn't scare him. But otherwise, I mean, I hated it. When I had my other dogs, those who could hear, they would run and hide, someplace all week. Not now. All right, how many children did Al Capone have? The correct answer is D. He had 9 children. And no, he did not have them all with 1 bride. Not with the same woman. No, Mimi. He had 9 children and not with the same wife or woman. He also had syphilis before he died, too. And he was a frequent visitor to prostitutes. So, all right, question number 27. American gangster Al Capone once had, should have been had, not has, had a legal job before becoming a mobster. What was it? What was Al Capone's legal job? Obviously not illegal, moonshine runner or bootlegger or anything like that. Those are legal jobs. What was his legal job? Was he a painter, a janitor, a newspaper boy, or a plumber? What was Al Capone's only legal job before becoming a actual mobster? Your dog likes fireworks, but he's weird. Yeah. Working in pizza. What was Al Capone's legal job before becoming a mobster? He was a vault builder. That's funny, Mr. Frosty. He built vaults just so Geraldo Rivera can, break into them, or enter them later, years later. I actually watched that stupid show. I remember that. Geraldo Rivera gaining access to Al Capone's vault. There's nothing in it. Did they show Being John Malkovich? Lisa, I don't remember what movies they showed all together there. I think I took like 3 or 4 different women on dates there to the Micro movie theater. I know one night, I remember in particular, we watched Easy Rider. Watched a couple art films there. They were like, about more about art. Because after all, that's why I originally went to school there. I was getting art and to get my degree and to become a school teacher. Never did that though. Never once actually taught school. School. Multi-generational conspiracy. Home security devices. American gangster Al Capone once had a legal job before becoming a mobster. What was it? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, was B. B. He was a janitor. He actually worked for his father. He was a janitor for his father. His father was a barber, and he ran the place that he actually owned had 12 different stations, and it was constantly busy. And he was a janitor. He would go in, sweep and mop the floors, take out the trash, do other janitorial duties there at his father's barber shop. But that was his one and only real legal job. And soon after that, he found that he could make more money fixing dice games and making illegal dice. And that led into his life of crime and everything else down the road. All right, question number 28. What was the world's first televised murder? What was the world's first televised murder? The hanging of Cartwell, B, Ruby Ridge standoff, C, Ruby killing Oswald, or D, the Penn State murders? What was the world's first televised murder? They didn't find any empty wine bottles in the vault. Wonder who has it now. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the show, but I was watching one about the hidden underground of Chicago, and there's some really cool things. In one part of downtown Chicago, there's a subway system where there's still a train that is there. They've actually entombed it on both sides of the tunnel, and the train is still in there. They know the train's there. Well, it's like a subway train, it's not like a full on locomotive, but it's a subway train, and the cars are still there. They entombed it right where it was. Didn't need it anymore. The subway system was going, bygone. Trina Middleton's going with Ruby killing Oswald. Carrie's going with that as well. But to answer your question, Mr. Frosty, about the wine bottles, they're probably in some museum somewhere. You could have bought Jack Ruby's 38 maybe 10 years ago for $58,000. I would have paid that if I had it. I don't know. you know, it might be have value for historical purposes, you know, for it. But to me, you know, I buy them because of their actual use. I'm not much of a collector because of what I can, you know, because hey, look, has a cool story behind it. That doesn't mean anything to me. I want it to be functional and serve its purpose. So all my handguns and rifles and everything have an actual purpose. It's sold for $58,000. That's insane. It's probably in like, you know, some kind of museum, like crime museum. Carrie, you were born on JFK's funeral day, November 25th, 1963. Your mom went into labor early. Wow. Well, I guess there's always that historical significance for the day. What was the first televised murder? The correct answer is C. Ruby killing Oswald was the first televised murder. All right, question number 29. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. 1788, ships known as the First Fleet transported what to Australia? A, guns, B, convicts, C, bananas, or D, whiskey? What was what they call the First Fleet to Australia in 1788? Convicts, whiskey, B. Ha ha ha. 1788. A couple of years ago, huh? I don't know if you guys can hear all that's going on out there right now. Well, it's going to get a lot worse. Because I think just about everybody around here had some type of party tonight. It was one of the first times that people are finally able to gather. Washington State and Oregon were the last two states to finally lift all restrictions, COVID restrictions. And I know the people directly behind us, well, they're not directly behind us, but they're behind us over to a side. Because the houses are not set up so they're like back to back this way. Every house is kind of like off-centered. The community was planned that way. But the one house almost directly behind us, they had a huge gathering there. I'll say whiskey because Haagen-Dazs whiskey flavor is awesome. I've never tried that. Haagen-Dazs whiskey flavor is awesome. Who is Cartwell? Who is B. Cartwell? Who is B. Cartwell? I have no idea. I can hear it. I feel for healthcare workers, the ERs are busy. Yeah, they're going to be. They're going to get busy tonight. A lot of dumb people out there. Who is Cartwell? I have no idea. All right, 1788. Ships known as the First Fleet transported what to Australia? The correct answer is B, convicts. Convicts were what was in those ships that were called the First Fleet in 1788 to Australia. All right, question number 30. California Disneyland. What was experienced for the first time in March of 1988 at California's Disneyland? A, discounted tickets. B, a ride with no line. C, plenty of open parking spots. Or D, a murder. What took place in March of 1981 at California's Disneyland for the very first time? My cat ran away tonight. I tried to keep him in. I'm sorry, Lisa. I hope he comes back tomorrow. Many Canadian Day celebrations were canceled. You remember the children they found at the residential schools? Aren't they finding more of them? I think I read another story about that Pretty and Camel, about another school that really found even more. That's just sad. Little bit of Sandra. One with D, murder, and welcome, little bit of Sandra. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and happy 4th of July. California Disneyland. What would happen for the first time in March of 1981? Mr. Frosty, the schools there, they found a lot of mass graves of dead children, indigenous children. They went to these boarding schools, you know, or whatever you consider them to be, and they died for various reasons, and they buried them, and they were forgotten, and they were never marked. These graves were never marked at all. They're murdered. Yeah. A lot of them. A lot of children. And these children were taken forcefully and sent to these schools. They didn't just decide to go there, on their own, from what I understand. But what happened in California Disneyland in March of 1981 for the very first time? What country? This is Canada. But what happened in 1981 in California Disneyland? The correct answer is D, murder. A family was waiting in line to enter into Disneyland there in California, and another family and group was waiting in line. An argument broke out between the two fathers, and the one father reached into his pocket, pulled out a pistol, shot and killed the other guy right there in front of his family, in line in Disney, waiting to get into Disneyland in March of 1981. That was the first recorded murder there at Disneyland, but unfortunately, it has not been the only one. There have been several more that have happened in the parking lot or on the actual property itself. And there was one individual, according to where I got this one from, there was one employee who attempted to kill another employee there at Disneyland. Disneyland does a damn good job of trying to keep all this stuff on the hush-hush. But that's what happened at California Disneyland in March of 1981. And now for your bonus question. Bonus, what is What was illegal until 1965 in Connecticut for married couples? What was illegal until 1965 for Connecticut married couples? Tax deductions, contraception, changing of last name, or housing? What was illegal for married couples in the state of Connecticut until 1965? Living in the Seattle area. I never went to school in Seattle. I went to high school in Tacoma. Went to Stadium High School. $1981. Going to Disneyland. Oh yeah. Well, it used to be a castle. At Stadium High School, I have there's a hallway that is filled with artwork from students that's on permanent display, and I have a piece that's there right next to the actual, just before you go into the actual art classroom there in the high school. Been on display since what, I think 1989, 88, somewhere there. I'm not, Mr. Frosty. It's gonna get a lot worse as the night goes on. It's the only time of the year where you can't call the police and tell them that, a complaint for a noise. They can do it all night long, and where I live, and people will all night long. Was D on film? I don't know what question you're on there, Lisa. Are you talking about the first murder on TV that's televised? Yeah, it's definitely Lake Washington High School in Kirkland. But I saw Stadium School and thought it looked amazing. It is an amazing school from the outside. It's a little bit run down on the inside, though. I mean, then again, that old of an actual building. But bonus question, what was illegal until 1965 in Connecticut for married couples? The correct answer is B, contraception was illegal until 1965 for married couples in the state of Connecticut. And that's it. That is our 30 questions. 30 trivia questions. So how did everybody end up doing tonight? Did anybody get it over 50% right? I'm not sure. Gary? Not sure. It may have to do with a little bit of more than one reason. The conservative values of this in the state. I'm sure that played into it. probably got about half, Jeannie. We were watching TV. Square lost my baby is there. My yellow Rosalind, her bloodstained clothes. Okay. I got over 50%, but still sucked, gotta say. Well, I mean, out of this one, before I put these 30 together, I knew about 50% of them myself before I put them together. Some of them I had not only did I have to write the trivia questions out, but some of them I had to actually go back and research again just to find out the information behind it, like the 4 pence for murder, for murdering a musician. That one just doesn't sound right. It's even plausible, but it really is. It was a law. You could be fined 4 pence for murdering a musician. I was like, that just doesn't sound right. It's fun, but I don't keep track of how well I do. As long as you had fun, that's what matters. Low Beans, you say you got a solid C minus. 4 pence is 20 cents. I'm not sure what the conversion rate is, Carrie, to tell you the truth. Roger Waters, watching TV song. Roger Waters. Been a while since I listened to any Roger Waters. That must have been the era of the wandering minstrel. Very little social clout. Pink Floyd. Yeah. Been some time. No, me and Tim didn't listen to any yesterday. We listened to a couple. We had it on classic rock. And we noticed that we were golfing yesterday, and we were listening to the classic rock station with Alexa. Something that never pops up on Alexa, for classic rock, is there certain bands that just never pop up. I mean, you'll hear 10, 15 songs by the Beatles, but you never hear others, certain artists at all. Roger Daltrey never pops up on classic rock anywhere on any of them. So it's kind of wondering, why does Alexa only sample certain things as classic rock, but leaves so much of it out? I hear some fireworks. Yeah, happy 4th, Comfits. Good night, Mo Beans. Thank you for joining us again. I hope you had fun. If you did, give this this live stream a thumbs up, and you have a terrific week ahead. That must have been. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope that everyone had fun. Again, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Let the YouTube algorithm know that we had fun doing this, and we want to see it again. It helps my channel, stay relevant as I guess I can be. In case you guys haven't seen the Taco podcast episode for today, it's a short little podcast episode because it's the 4th of July. My wife is busy, but we've hired our daughter to be our social media manager, to answer and to moderate different venues like live streams and the comment sections of videos, and to make sure that all the postings get out there to all the different social media platforms that we're on. So we've hired her to actually do this. This is a real job There really are people out there. I had no idea this was even a thing. They call it social media management, but it's gotten to the point where neither one of us can keep up with our social media presence anymore. So here in the future, you will see her pop up on the channel here in the live streams. I don't know which name she's going to be using yet at this point, or she's going to be setting up new names. So she doesn't start that until this week. So I hope everybody had fun tonight. Thank you again for coming back, and for being here today to take part in the True Crime Trivia. Next weekend, we will be doing a serial killer trivia. So it's true crime related, but it's actually a serial killer. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Ed Gein or if it's going to be somebody else. I have 2 or 3 of them that are already done. I just have to type them out so you guys can actually see them on the screen. So I'm not sure which one it's going to be at this point. But thank you, everyone. You all have a terrific week, and everyone stay safe out there. And if you do decide to let off fireworks tonight or tomorrow, whatever, keep your hands and your face away from them. Again, thank you again.